Hello, is this Insert Gambino here with a new stream. And this stream I'm going to be going over the event week for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online, which started on Thursday, and there's still a couple more days left on this one, recording it on early Monday. But yeah, going into the title of the stream, there's 3 times money RP on the casino missions. And yeah, when they first released the newswire, it was casino work they put as the opportunity, but it's really the casino story missions. So even Rockstar gets confused with their own names apparently. Someone thought it was 3 times money RP under like free mode casino work missions. That's not the case, it's the casino story missions. Which is kind of because there's some hardest missions in the game, so I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that one. And yeah, there's also a return of diamonds for the Diamond Casino Heist. And yeah, it's not straight up like double money RP or anything. Diamonds have their like own individual value, obviously compared to like gold, artwork, and like cash and all that. And yeah, it probably has like a different like time and stuff as well for how long it takes to get all of like a single cart emptied out, whatever. I feel it would be more along the lines of like gold and like cash, where it would probably require more players to get it compared to like artwork, which that one's probably the best for like 2 players for the Diamond Casino Heist. There's also 2 times money RP on stun races. That's pretty much the only other money opportunities. Those are really all free the money opportunities. And 40% off the master penthouse and add-ons and more. So that's basically like the one property discount, and also of course the renovations. And podium vehicle for the week, I believe, is the NSS, not Sadie, but oh fuck, what the hell? How did I fuck that up? Oh god. I don't know how that happened. I've never had that bad of a flying job by the casino before. That was quite an interesting landing. But yeah, I think it's the NSRE7B or something from like the Cunning Stunts update for the podium vehicle, from what I remember seeing on the news wire and going off of memory. Alright, yeah, that's definitely the NSRE7B. Which starts with one of its 2 liveries there. And it also probably has like an orange paint job or something, it looks like. Just gonna do my typical wheel spin of the day. Or for the week, I really only do the wheel spin once because I'm not big on the podium vehicles. Most times I just get RP, so... Alright, 5,000 RP. Yeah, like I usually do, I'll go over the podium vehicle. Right as I'm in the casino right now. And yeah, there's a little preview of a couple discounts. Yeah, it's a pretty old vehicle, like 2016 I believe, like early to mid 2016. So clearly, being a pretty old supercar, it's probably been very dethroned. But yeah, definitely know for a fact it's not top 3 for lap time or top speed. So I typically go over the supercar class when talking about time trials and stuff. When going on Murphy 152 spreadsheet and all that. Yeah, it's either got the Estancia or the Pegasus livery. I think it was Pegasus it looked like from what I could see briefly. Because I believe I noticed blue. And there's also the option of getting a vehicle with no livery, but you do have to like take off the livery, I believe, through the Los Santos Customs, which I don't know how much that costs. So there is the option as well to get no livery, but it has to be done through the mod shop. Yeah, first of all, I gotta go on Murphy 152 spreadsheet. But yeah, RE7B, for lap time, it's actually 6th place for lap time. So it's right beneath the top 5 when it comes to lap time situation on RE7B. So it's still a decent option apparently for lap time, so that's not too bad. Even though it's a very dated supercar, it's still 6th place lap time. That's pretty impressive actually. But still obviously not like top 3 or anything. And RE7B for top speed. RE7B for top speed is significantly worse, being 25th place. That's out of 48 different vehicles. So whether you include non-raceable options that have like boosts and stuff like that or not, even if it's including like regular supercars, it's still below average. So yeah, has a very above average lap time, but below average on top speed. So you can still do decent in a lap time situation, but still not top 5 or even top 3, just barely misses out on the top 5 for lap time. Also, I believe this vehicle is very good when it comes to like downforce kind of situations, where that could be something significant for like stunt races or something. I believe that's something I recall hearing. And that's just me going off of memory, not going off of like Murphy 152 spreadsheet or anything. But I can't go wrong with the lap time on this one. And yeah, definitely the Pegasus livery. And yeah, pretty decent savings as well in addition to its decentish top speed. I mean, not top speed, but lap time. But yeah, in addition to decentish lap time, it also is pretty good savings as well, which is quite nice. Yeah, premium race for the week is Art to Art for the motorcycle class. Which I'll be going over that one, going over the time trials. Looks like it's somewhere on the hills if I were to take a guess. Depending on where on the hills it goes and all, I suppose it could be minimum top speed, but most likely it's gonna have good lap time, I'd say. Since that's the majority of races and all that stuff. Regular time trial for the week is Pillbox Hill with a 2-minute 16-second part time and all that. Says the ICU to Old Valley Cemetery, so some kind of cemetery it seems. There's a couple cemeteries I can think of, one being over here, which I guess could be decent distance, but I don't know if that's like 2 minutes worth of a time trial. Or there is that one where like the Lamar mission takes place, so it could be one of those two locations it goes to. Regardless, I think it's definitely going to be heavy on lap time, being kind of in the middle of the city. So I suppose I will only talk about lap time, just get through the time trial, kind of. So I'll talk about lap time for motorcycles and supercars, but yeah, I'll probably start off with supercar lap times. But yeah, top 3 for lap time for supercar class. First place is the Progen Emirates, which is like 2.7, somewhere between like 2.9 to 2.7 million from the Diamond Casino Resort DLC, so you don't really have to scroll that far down for the Legendary Motorsport website. But yeah, not much of a cost difference between second place, but especially with third place lap time for the supercar class, definitely quite the cost difference, but you might as well do that like extra Cayo Perico Heist or 2, whatever. Especially with how easy it is to make money these days, I would definitely just go to number 1 option. But anyways, the number 2 option for the supercar class for a lap time situation, going off Perfect 1322 spreadsheet, is the Benefactor Krieger. That one's somewhere between 2.7 and 2.5 mil. So only like a couple 100,000 from what I remember from the Progen Emirates. So yeah, really like no cost difference between the first and second place, so you might as well go to Emirates. Or if you want one within like the $1 million range for third place for lap time for the supercar class, there's the Debauchee Wagner for third place in lap time for supercar class. From like mid-2017 with like the gun running updates, you got to scroll quite the ways down compared to like the Progen Emirates and Benefactor Krieger on the Legendary Motorsport website. We also have a cost-efficient option, but when there's a Cayo Perico Heist, you might as well just go to the most expensive one anyways. So that's the number 1 option, being the Progen Emirates. And yeah, supercars really aren't going to typically be that good on time trials, because obviously the traffic isn't disabled or anything. So that's why I mainly recommend this motorcycle. And again, get through it faster. I'm just going to go over a lap time, since it is in the heart of the like city, so I don't really see top speed being the number 1 option. But yeah. For first place for the motorcycle class for a lap time situation, the first place option would be Nagasaki Shotaro. That one's like $2.2, $2.3 million from what I recall. And if you don't have the Nagasaki Shotaro on your Legendary Motorsport website, I believe you have to play a match at deadline in order to unlock it. Don't have to win, it can be a win or a loss. You can get it as long as you just participate in a match at deadline. I believe it's one of the only vehicles these days that has to be unlocked to even appear on the website whatsoever. Since most vehicles have trade prices these days, even like original 2015 heist vehicles, they added trade prices on those when they didn't originally have trade prices, and you used to have to do those original heists and stuff. So it's one of those only vehicles that you have to actually unlock for viewing on the website, I believe. Again, but yeah. Nagasaki Shotaro, I believe, is the only motorcycle you can lean forward or backwards of the stick for the best possible speed. So it doesn't matter if you lean forward like a stoppie or backward like a wheelie. You can get the like best possible speed regardless on that one. Second place for lap time for motorcycle class is the Shitsu Hakuchou Drag. That was like $800,000 to $900,000, so quite a bit cheaper. But again, these days it's so easy to make money with the Cayo Perico Heist, and that's without like glitching or anything. Obviously, you can basically do Cayo Perico Heist easily within like an hour. Such easy money these days in the game. You might as well just go to Shotaro, but yeah. Still, second place regardless is the Shitsu Hakuchou Drag. And that, I believe, is one of the two motorcycles, from what I've heard, that you have to lean forward with the stick for best possible speed, as if you're doing like a stoppie. So it functions similarly to the ATVs in the game. I believe all the ATVs, for example, you have to lean forward for the best possible speed. So it's similar to an ATV in terms of how you get the best possible speed. The only other one I think that works that way is the Nightblade, but I don't even think it's a competitive option. And finally, third place for lap time for the motorcycle class is the Body 801, which is also third place for top speed for the motorcycle class. And it's also the only one that's top 3 for lap time and top speed. All the other ones are less than third place for their top speed or for their lap time, if I were to go over the top speed options, but for simplicity's sake, I'm only going over a lap time this time. But yeah, Body 801 is like 10,000 or under, so it's the cheapest of them, and it's also the only one that's top 3 lap time and top speed, so it's the best average vehicle for a motorcycle when it comes to the time trials. And yeah, that one you have to lean backward with stick like you do with like 90 to 95% of the motorcycles in the game for the best possible speed, as if you're doing like a wheelie. And I believe you still get those like speed bonuses whether you are visibly doing a wheelie or not, just as long as you're holding the back stick. I think it's the only requirement, but if you do get that wheelie, it's best. But you can still get some sort of speed bonus, I think, if you just hold back on the stick regardless. So yeah, that's top 3 lap time, but yeah, that's top 3 lap time for supercar and motorcycle class for the time trial. RC Bandito time trial for a week is kinda back to normal, being on Davis Court. This was supposed to be the last week's time trial, I believe, but because Rockstar messed up with the 2 times money RP on the RC Bandito time trial as of last week, I believe they just went back to construction state 1 last time. But now it's the proper one, being Davis Courts. Now, I don't personally have an RC Bandito time trial guide on these, because I made like the first 4, and it wasn't a really fun like series to make and stuff like that. It's kind of also hard to give advice, I feel, because especially time trials are designed for you to fail them multiple times and learn throughout them and stuff. But yeah, one thing of advice I can give is I think there's a checkpoint that goes near the finish here. I believe you can jump from like here to here with the jump boost. It's like one of the only times I feel where the jump boost is actually not helpful much, I feel, when it comes to the time trials. So yeah, there is a good jump boost opportunity near the end. That's one thing of advice I can think of on top of my head from when I remember doing this. But yeah, if you do want RC Bandito time trial guides, I do recommend GTA Men. He does really good RC Bandito time trial guides from what I can see from his channel and stuff. Notice he does guides on them. There's also GTA series videos, but they don't commentate, so you gotta watch closely on what they do if you want to go GTA series videos. But yeah, I would probably highly recommend GTA Men if you want some sort of RC Bandito time trial guide. The same goes for regular time trials as well. Personally, I was not the best, I feel, in describing those on 4 I did do for RC Bandito time trials. Plus, I didn't find the series very fun to make, like I said. And yeah, that's right, I had a bad flight job on my Sparrow, so I'll have to respawn it. And yeah, obviously there's only one vehicle usable for the RC Bandito time trials, so kinda hard to get advice when there's only one vehicle option in the first place. But yeah, now that I'm done going over the time trials and premium races as well, now to talk about the money opportunities. 2 of them being on the pause menu, 1 of them not being on the pause menu. So I'll start with the ones on the pause menu first. So I'll land somewhere and do that. Yeah, starting off on stunt races. Literally, there's only regular stunt races on 2 times money RP. None of the other, like, variants of stunt races are on 2 times money RP, just the regular ones. But yeah. But yeah, obviously the maps are pretty much all personal preference. Depends on basically a type of vehicle you want to use. The type of vehicle you want to use might be determined by the map, or you might be able to use different classes of vehicles on each map. Regardless, the maps don't really make much of a difference, unlike the transform races, for example, where that has the biggest difference between like all the maps, I'd say. But yeah, stunt races, I believe you can make like 16,000 within like 8 to 10 minutes, just doing it by yourself, waiting the like maximum time. So that's basically kind of the best way to go about stunt races, aside from obviously doing stunt races like competitively and stuff. But obviously I don't really recommend doing that because there's better opportunities. For one, this is definitely the worst one of the bunch this event week. But yeah, not just because it's the worst, but it's also, you're also not guaranteed obviously to win every single stunt race, so I think the best way of making money for sure would just be to wait like 8-10 minutes in a stunt race. I believe that's the maximum time for that you get paid for, compared to like 15 or 16 with like a contact mission. But yeah, regardless, it's not really worth doing it. Like 16,000 for like 10 minutes, not really worth it. I believe that's the number for 2 times money RP. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, they did mess up with the casino one. When they first released the newswire, it said Casino Work, which Casino Work is the free mode ones of Baker. But no, it's the Casino Story missions, which all start with Casino, followed by their name. But yeah, going to a particular order, there's a loose chain. And I was working on I've been working on a contact mission content episode for the Casino Story missions, so I might try to release it later today or early tomorrow, hopefully, because I don't have anything planned for early Tuesday. Also, I'm going to be on a hiatus for around like a week at some point, starting this week. Not going to say exactly when, but yeah. And I'm going to have a 1 week like hiatus on the channel for a particular reason, which I'm not really going to go into in case any particular person stalks me or anything that I don't want to know or anything. But yeah, triple money RP might be the first time where there's triple money RP, particularly for the casino missions. But yeah, maximum payout for like 15-16 minutes is $17,800 from what I recall. So you can make like a 50 to like 52,000, I think, on triple money RP. So there's some definite decent money to be made on these. But the problem is, a lot of these missions really aren't that worth doing, besides for one time for the like awards. But yeah, Loose Chang is a pretty easy casino mission. That one you can just go ham with like the Torador in the game now, which is like the one ground vehicle with infinite missiles. That's what we'll be going into with the contact mission content when I release that, which is a text-only video, no audio whatsoever. Just because it has like dialogue and stuff like that, I decided to go with a text-only format similar to the Lowrider missions. But when I do release that episode of contact mission content, hopefully sometime this week. I just haven't really felt like releasing it. But yeah. Pretty sure the second one is housekeeping, going to the actual like storyline order. But yeah, this one's another very easy one as well. This requires like shooting a driver out in the fracks and like fist fighting and stuff. That's assuming you don't take too long to like kill the driver in the frax, because then it drives to like an alley and then there's more enemies to deal with, I believe. But yeah, this one's very easy. Don't really even need a personal vehicle. I think you can use a personal vehicle, but I would probably recommend like the weaponized Tampa, because it's really good at shooting out people. But yeah, this easy enough to provide hostile drags isn't bad either. I'm trying to think which one was the third one. I believe this one's the third one here, strong arms tactics. I do not recommend doing strong arms tactics unless you're doing it for your first time. I only recommend doing it for the award for the 50,000. Besides for that, not worth doing. It's one of the hardest casino story missions, because even though you can spawn personal vehicles, you can't even actually use them in any circumstance. I tried going out with the vineyard to use it when a certain area was cleared. But if you go too far out the vineyard, it actually kills like the translator or something. And yeah, he was out like full health, but yeah. You can already have like the translator go full health to completely dead if you even attempt getting your personal vehicle on that one. So yeah, it really is a purely PvP mission, which I don't recommend because that's a very hard mission. Play to win is probably the easiest of them. You just blow a bunch of stuff up. Can't use personal vehicles anymore, it seems, for some reason. You used to be able to use personal vehicles, but you can still use personal aircrafts, which is completely fine, because personal aircrafts are very good for it anyways. But yeah, this one's the fifth one, which is another PvP focused one. So yeah, not really being able to use personal vehicles and stuff makes it a way more difficult mission than some of the other ones. So I don't recommend doing Bad Beat unless you're going for the 50,000 award for your first time. Or any other award even that involves it as well. And then cashing out the sixth and final casino story mission. Very easy if you do it stealth. If not doing it stealth, I'm sure it could be one of the more difficult ones. But stealth is so easy on this one. So I do recommend it if you think you can do it stealth. With friend or random, whatever. And yeah, if you do it stealth, you can be on the mission for a good and decent amount of time. So if you want good payout, you should probably do cashing out as long as you're good at stealth. Because you'll be in the mission for a decent amount of time. You won't really have to stall in the mission to get the maximum time limit. So I think that one's definitely worth it most. And then at least Chang, housekeeping, and play to win are some honorable mentions. Bad Beat and strong arm tactics I would straight up avoid though, unless you're going for any awards with the mission. So that's the advice for casino story missions. I've played them pretty recently, so I am pretty refreshed on what to do with those ones. And again, I do have like a contact mission content that could be out anytime I decide to work on the last like 30 seconds. I only have like 30 seconds left to put text over and stuff. So yeah, pretty close to done with that. I might try to release it for later today or tomorrow or tomorrow something. And then finally, the last money opportunity is the return of diamonds. Now it's hard to really say what the amount of diamonds is. I don't entirely know that on top of my head. But obviously, being a limited time like loot for the heist, it's clearly got to be the best value when it comes to loot. Is it really the best loot though? I honestly would probably say no. I've never done the diamonds myself, so I don't really know. But yeah, I think similar to Cash and Gold, where you can't do it all that well with two players. If you're very good with a friend or something, maybe you could do it with 2 players, but it might be one of those that is best to do with like 3 players, similar to like gold and cash, for example. I think those ones kind of best to do with 3 players from what I hear. So yeah, while it's the most value, it's probably not the like most efficient one to do, or it's probably the most efficient of all of them to do, I'd say. Plus there's Cayo Perico Heist now, which is a completely soloable heist, obviously. Like, almost nothing compares to Cayo Perico Heist on even its regular money, obviously. However, Diamonds is a pretty good event, I'd say. It can compare to Cayo Perico Heist, I would imagine. But yeah, at most, I'd probably estimate that the Diamonds are probably like 3 million worth, something around there. And yeah, it's really just a different type of loot, so it doesn't change the heist that much. The main things that change would be the amount of time it takes to get like a whole cart of diamonds, like into the loot bag, whatever. And like how many players it's best to do it with, for example. So yeah, not much changes really with the diamonds. But obviously it's the best type. And yeah, I feel every time they add it, I believe they increase the chances more and more. But yeah, obviously you kind of have to rely on pure luck. I think if it's your first thing in diamonds, it's guaranteed, however. So if you want a guaranteed diamonds and haven't done diamonds, obviously you can get a guaranteed chance, I believe. Which I'm one that hasn't done diamonds, but yeah. Really, again, Cayo Perico Heist would really be the best way, because it's a soloable heist, but if you don't mind doing a heist with like one random or a single friend, then it's a good, like, thing to do during the event weekend. It's actually kind of worth doing, unlike most event stuff, which still gets overshadowed by Cayo Perico. Can actually kind of compete with it, I would imagine, putting that, like, 2-player account aside. But yeah, that should be all the free money opportunities explained, and best advice, kind of, and stuff like that. There's also like a clothing unlock for the week. It's not a login one, you have to actually do something in the game. But yeah, if you participate in an open wheel race, you do get the open wheel sponsored tee to your wardrobe for the next week. So there is a clothing unlock for those who like collecting all the clothing in the game. Personally, I don't really care to unlock all the clothing, especially when you have to actually earn them in the game. And especially when it's not tied to a money opportunity. Yeah, I'll check, but yeah. They don't mention it on there, so it's clearly not gonna be double money RP, but yeah. For those who might be confused how to find them, you have to go through regular races. And they all have open wheel in front, obviously. And there seems to be exactly 16 maps. So basically a whole like page worth of maps. But yeah, while it's not on 2 times money RP, there is a clothing unlock that can be unlocked there, and I think it's the first time they've given it as well, so it's not one that anyone probably had before. So yeah, if you want some of the more exclusive clothing in the game, do an open wheel race essentially. And yeah, you just participate, it's not a win or lose thing if you want the open wheel sponsor tee. And yeah, those are stowable, so you can play by yourself, at least on those. And I believe the rest of the stream should just be covering discounts. But yeah, one discount that's kind of a miscellaneous kind of discount that can't really be shown on a website is 50% off all penthouse decorations in the casino store. So if you want a lot of the like casino decorations, you want to collect a lot of them, definitely a good event week to do it because all of them are like half off. So if you want to collect all those, definitely a good week to do that. But speaking of that, I think I forgot to like collect on arcade games for last event week, unfortunately. So yeah, that definitely sucks. I forgot to get arcade games for the event week for the previous one. So I could get my 50,000 faster for the arcade, which, I don't really empty it anyways, but still. And yeah, there's basically 5 new vehicle discounts. And yeah, Russo, GT500, and the Comet Safari, those are still on Prime Gaming discount. And I think it's the last week you can get the Pegasus Russo, 70% off, and then 80% off the GT500, and then Comet Safari. But yeah, obviously I went over the Prime Gaming stuff the first week. So I might make small mentions of at least one of them. But yeah. Actually, going into the property discount. If you want to get started on the casino story missions and don't have a master penthouse, definitely be sure to get one. Yeah, that's just the penthouse itself. Which I believe the penthouse you mainly need for the casino story missions. I don't know if it's required for the Diamond Casino Heist, however. As far as I know, the casino story missions in the like penthouse, those give very minimal benefits to the Diamond Casino Heist. I believe there are certain benefits for having a penthouse and doing the casino story missions, though, for the Diamond Casino Heist. Like, for example, I believe to do Vincent's, like, setup prep thing in the Diamond Casino Heist, I believe you do have to complete all 6 casino story missions, obviously, because that's how Vincent gets fired in the game. And Vincent's prep does actually allow you to, like, see security cameras and stuff. So it is useful if you want to do constant Diamond Casino Heists. As known the casino, like, security camera locations is definitely worth having. But yeah, lounge area, probably not really worth it, honestly. Most of these expansions really aren't that worth it, honestly. Media room, you get to view, like, free movies, which is pretty Spa, you get, like, free haircuts, which is kind of nice, but still pretty This one you get access to 2 arcade games, but of course there's the arcade now where you can get these same things anyways. And this probably has like all the like nightclub drinks, and again you can just get like a nightclub. The private dealer, for those who can even get the private dealer who don't live somewhere where there's restricted like gambling stuff and all that. For those who can even get the private dealer, it's definitely one of the more worthy ones. Probably one of the 2 that I'd highly recommend. Office. You get a gun locker and a safe in the property actually to get the office. Though you can't do like sourcing stuff and all that for like different businesses and stuff, so not really worth it. Basically just gives you half of the stuff that the regular CEO offices kind of give you anyways. Extra bedroom, that one's pretty, And yeah, obviously a 10-car garage, definitely very worth it for more vehicle slots. It's really only two I feel are the most worth it are the private dealer for those who can get that one due to like gaming laws and stuff. And the garage. Those are really the two most worth getting. And obviously the ones that give like free stuff, definitely worth getting as well. And the ones that are the worst would probably go to extra bedroom. And like the lounge area. And yeah, obviously just colors and patterns, just pure cosmetic stuff as well. Yeah, now it should just be vehicle discounts. Alright, none of those seem to be on the Arena or website for vehicle discounts. Don't think Benny's has any either. None for Elitist as well, so first website I would have discounts would be Legendary Motorsport. But yeah, starting off with the Nagasaki Strider, which on discount, the price ranges from $301,500 to $402,000. Originally $502,500 to $670,000. But yeah. Personally, I wouldn't really expect much performance out of this one, being an ATV, kind of. Might be a motorcycle, like a freewheel motorcycle, not necessarily an ATV. But yeah. Alright, yeah, Strider counts as the motorcycle class. I believe ATVs tend to count as like off-road class. That's kind of more of a motorcycle than an ATV, it seems. But yeah, going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet, the Nagasaki Strider for a lap time situation is 26th place out of 50 different motorcycles. So yeah, slightly below average on its lap time. And then top speed for the Strider is way worse, being 43rd place out of 50 different motorcycles in the game. That makes it anywhere from like 43rd to 46th place, whether including non-raceable vehicles or not. So yeah, below average on both lap time and top speed, so really only worth it for customizations. But I feel it would have some decent customizations. Next is the Lampadati Komoda. I believe that one's a sports car. Alright, yeah, Lampadati Komoda's a sports car. But yeah, Lampadati Komoda for a lap time is 27th place, so obviously not really being within the top 10. Not really a very decent lap time at all. But for the sports car class, that's definitely an above average lap time. Above average, but nowhere near the top 10 regardless. Not really good for performance on lap time. However, for top speed, the Komoda is 12th place compared to 27th for lap time. It's 12th for top speed. So it just barely misses out on the top 10 for top speed, so I probably wouldn't call it decent on its top speed, but it's okay, I suppose, for the top speed. So really, it's going to be best for customization. Personal preference kind of purposes, I'd say it's similar to the Strider. Basically, kind of less worse Strider when it comes to performance situation. But the Pegasus or Russo, that one's a Prime Gaming discount. But yeah, it's not top 3 for lap time or top speed, so it's not really a worthy Prime Gaming discount. I'd probably save your money on that. Grotti Italy GTO, that one's one of the few new vehicle discounts. For this week, there's only like 5 new vehicle discounts in total. But yeah, that one's also a sports car like the Komoda, but it is a pretty good one, I believe. But yeah, going into lap time, going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet, the Italy GTO is actually #1 for the sport class for lap time. So yeah, it's literally the #1 option for the sports class for lap time, so that alone makes it pretty worth it. For 1.2 million, you could probably do like a single Cayo Perico Heist for that. It's really depending on like your primary target and stuff like that. And then top speed, the Italy GTO is 4th place for top speed. It's only 3 placements worth for top speed. So first place lap time, best of lap time, which is most races, so most races you will do best with the Italy GTO. If it's like purely lap time especially. And it still has 4th place on top speed, which is still and then you have 4th place top speed. That is very damn good for top speed as well. Not obviously #1, like top speed, like lap time, it's still both performances are very good, so definitely worth getting that one. And yeah, it's probably not getting dethroned from top 5 and top 10 anytime soon, so probably still, I'd probably say that's a good one to get for a long while. And yeah, GT500 again is a Prime Gaming discount from like the last like week or 2, so not going into that one. Comet Safari though, I will say this one can be weaponized if you have an MOC or Avenger, or even a weaponized workshop with like the Arena. So you can make it weaponized and make it an actual like useful free mode vehicle. However, obviously it's not going to be that good since it only has like machine guns anyways. So obviously there's a lot better weaponized vehicles anyways, but 142,000 is definitely a pretty good discount. And Pegasus Torero, that's a new discount, and that one's 30% off, whereas I believe the rest are 40. Alright, yeah. Torero is the only 30% off discount compared to 40% off of all the other vehicle discounts that are actually new this event week. Rare Torero, I believe it's Sport Classic. But yeah, Torero is a Sport Classic. So for lap time for the Torero, it's 7th place. So nowhere near the top like 3 or 5, but still within the top 10 for a lap time, so nothing too bad for the Torero for lap time. And that's in a class of 44 vehicles, including non-raceable options. The Torero 7th place lap time, pretty good. Still pretty good, 7th place on lap time for sure. And top speed for Torero is 16th place. So Torero's not very good for top speed, unfortunately. Still above average, I'd say, on the top speed, but still nowhere near the top 10. So really, it can be a good lap time vehicle, but top speed, definitely not, I'd say. It's probably not really worth the price, especially 30% off, not even 40, that's pretty lame. And yeah, it's 4 of the 5 new vehicles just on Legendary for a discount. I believe the last one is on Sovereign, and that's the Maxwell Vagrant. Alright, yeah. Maxwell Vagrant 40% off instead of like almost 1.7 on a trade price. That's almost $1 million on a trade price. And I believe the Maxwell Vagrant is actually pretty good performance, I believe, for its class, if I recall. And yeah, very positive that's an off-road. But yeah, for lap times similar to the Italy GTO, it's actually #1 for its class for off-road for lap time, not including unraceable options, which there's like 18 unraceable options. But yeah, I feel the only one that would compete with it for lap time would maybe be like the Sasquatch, because it has like the boost, if including non-raceables. But still, going off of Bruffy 1322 spreadsheet, it's the #1 for off-road for a lap time. And under $1 million, kind of worth it. It's even more worth it. It's even less price, obviously, than the Italy GTO. And also, top speed as well is also first place for the Vagrant as well. And again, I think the only one that would really compete for a non-raceable option would actually be the Brutus or the Sasquatch. So if you include like the non-raceable options, which you can't even use them really for most races, being the Brutus and Sasquatch. Vagrant is really the best option for the whole entire off-road class. However, that's not including like the BF400. You can actually use like the BF400 or some sort of motorcycle. So you do have to put like motorcycles into the mix. But still, you can't really fall out of the Vagrant compared to a motorcycle, so definitely pretty decent for off-road racing. #1 in its class for lap time and top speed. Definitely can't go wrong with the Vagrant. And yeah, let me make sure that was all the discounts for vehicles. Alright, yeah, that was all the vehicle discounts. Vehicle discounts are pretty lame this time, only takes from Legendary. 4 of them are all Legendary, and then just the one on Stubborn, no, like, weaponized discounts aside for the one continued one for Prime Gaming. But yeah. This event week, in my opinion, I feel wasn't really that good. I feel the best thing about the event week is really the return of Diamond. That's probably the most hype thing about the event week. And actually at least has something money-wise that can compete with the Cayo Perico Heist, so I suppose that's good at least. Because most event weeks can't really compete with the Cayo Perico Heist on its regular money even. So at least money-wise it's kinda good. Yeah, Casino Story missions I feel are kinda underrated for the 4 that aren't like purely PvP. Those 2 that are purely PvP, on the other hand, I just would straight up avoid again. But yeah. Again, I might try to get that Casino Story mission thing out. I only got 3 seconds of text to add and and stuff, so I could definitely get it out whenever I feel like it. So I might get out for the last couple days. So that's my next main video content. Some Contact Mission content episode, obviously. An episode of my Contact Mission content series for the casino missions. Purely text, because there's actual, like, full-on dialogue with those missions. And yeah. For Red Dead Online and GTA Online for this week, for event week streams, I'm going to have to get them out pretty early, because I am going to have a, like, 1 week hiatus on the channel on Saturday. Starting on Saturday to, like, next Saturday. I'm going to be out of town and stuff, so yeah, expect those streams early, so I make sure I get them covered on the channel, because I want to keep my streak of not missing a single event week, obviously. Yeah, that's probably going to be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.